80s, let me tell you something. When he breaks your heart, don't break down, break through. Because there comes a time in every woman's life when the pain of being misunderstood, undervalued, taken for granted turns into the fire that builds her strength. Heartbreak can crush you. Yes, it can tear your soul apart. It can also awaken a power inside you that you never knew existed. When he walks away, when he replaces your love with silence, when his promises fade into excuses, that is not your ending, that is your awakening. You don't need to break his heart. You don't need to chase him or prove your worth, because the moment he breaks your heart, life gives you an invitation to break his ego, not with revenge, not with rage, but with the power of transformation, the kind of glow that cannot be ignored. See, biggest revenge is not hurting him back. It's not sending long messages he'll never read. It's not proving you were right. It's standing in your silence and letting your evolution speak. Because nothing haunts a man more than the woman who rises after the heartbreak he caused. Nothing confuses his ego more than the woman he thought would crumble, now walking in peace, glowing without explanation, laughing again like the pain never touched her. A man's ego believes you need him to survive. Your healing becomes the greatest threat to his pride. When he sees you smiling again, rebuilding again, dreaming again, living again, that's when the truth hits. He didn't break you. He built the woman who no longer needs validation. Heartbreak doesn't destroy the strong woman. It refines her. It burns away the illusion, the dependency, the overgiving, the waiting for closure that never comes. It forces you to see what love should not feel like. Teaches you that your worth doesn't depend on being chosen. It depends on how you choose yourself. When he leaves you wondering what went wrong, answer is simple. You gave too much of your light to someone who couldn't handle its shine. But don't dim it. Don't beg for him to notice. Don't chase for an explanation that won't heal you. Instead, stand still, breathe. Focus that energy inward, because when a woman stops chasing and starts growing, she becomes unstoppable. Pain that once made her cry becomes the power that makes her fly. The ego of a man feeds on reaction. It thrives when you call, when you explain, you try to make him understand the damage he's done. But when you go silent, when you detach with grace, when you stop reacting and start rising, his ego loses control. He starts to wonder why you're not chasing him anymore. He starts to realize the power of your absence. The texts stop. The calls fade. The drama ends. And yet, in that silence, you are louder than ever, because silence has a vibration, and your peace becomes the sound he can't escape. While he expected you to break, you rebuild. While he expected you to beg, you bloom. While he expected you to fall, you found your wings. That's how you break his ego, not by fighting him, but by outgrowing him. There's something sacred about a woman who chooses peace over pain. When you take that broken heart and build something out of it, a purpose, a dream, a new version of yourself, you become the kind of woman who cannot be replaced. You see, a man can forget your words, but he'll never forget your absence. He can forget your love. He'll never forget your glow after pain. He can move on, but he'll never escape the memory of how his loss became your rise. Because once a woman learns that her power lies not in what she gives, but in what she refuses to tolerate, her energy becomes untouchable. That's the day you shift from being broken to being reborn. Don't let heartbreak turn you bitter. Let it make you better. Don't let his ego drag you into a war of pride. You don't need to prove anything. The universe already saw how much you gave. God already saw how much you loved. Life always has a way of balancing what people take for granted. Your peace will become your justice. Your glow will become your answer. You don't need revenge. Your healing is enough. You don't need closure. Your peace is the closure. You start focusing on your growth, on your mind, on your purpose, his ego will crumble under the weight of his own regret, because there's nothing more painful to a man's pride than realizing he lost a woman who turned her pain into power. You may think walking away is weakness, but it's the ultimate strength. It's easy to argue, easy to explain, easy to chase, but walking away takes courage. It takes self-respect. It takes the kind of emotional maturity that says, I love myself enough not to stay where I'm not valued. That's the real power, because love should never require you to lose yourself. And heartbreak should never make you forget who you are. When he breaks your heart, don't lose yourself trying to fix him. Fix your crown. Fix your peace. Fix your focus. Because when you do, you become the kind of woman that life rewards. The most dangerous woman is the one who heals in silence, the one who doesn't post her pain, the one who doesn't try to make him jealous, one who disappears, rebuilds, and returns with peace that doesn't depend on anyone. That's how you break his ego, not by proving you've moved on, by no longer needing to prove anything at all. When he sees that glow, when he hears your name, and it still makes him pause, when he realizes he can't access your energy anymore, that's the real victory. That's when he knows you were never replaceable. You were just unappreciated. When a man breaks your heart, understand this. You were not too much. You were just too real for someone who wasn't ready. You were not unlovable. You just loved someone who didn't know what love meant. You were not weak. You were just loyal to the wrong energy. That loyalty taught you discernment. It taught you to stop pouring into half hearts. It taught you to save some love for yourself, because self-love is not selfish, it's survival. Once you start loving yourself, no heartbreak can destroy you again. Your standards rise. Your energy changes. You stop accepting excuses. You stop entertaining what drains you. That's when your healing becomes your revolution. There will be nights when you'll miss him, moments when the memories flood your heart. That's okay. Feel it, but don't live in it. Memories are not your home anymore. They are lessons, not destinations. Every tear you shed is watering the new you. Every silence you hold is teaching your soul to trust again. Every breath you take is bringing you closer to peace. Don't resist the pain. Transform it. Use it. Let it shape you. Because pain is not the end. It's the teacher that introduces you to your strength. And when you rise again stronger, calmer, wiser, that's when you realize he broke your heart, but he could never touch your spirit. There's a moment in every woman's journey where she realizes that heartbreak didn't destroy her. It introduced her to herself. The woman you are becoming would not exist without the lessons of the woman you once were. You had to go through that pain to learn the power of your peace. You had to lose him to find yourself. You had to be broken to learn how to build differently. That's not weakness, that's evolution. You are not the same anymore. You don't chase, you attract. You don't argue, you observe. You don't explain, you understand. You don't fight for attention, you walk with intention. That's how you break his ego, by becoming the woman who no longer needs his validation to feel whole. When he breaks your heart, let him. Promise yourself this. You will rise so high that his memory will have to look up to see you. Promise yourself that you will never let anyone make you forget your worth again. Promise yourself that your peace will be your priority. Because when you choose peace, everything that isn't aligned with it will naturally fall away. That's how you heal. That's how you grow. That's how you win. The woman who knows her worth doesn't chase closure. She doesn't seek revenge. She doesn't wait for apologies. She moves forward with grace, because her silence is her statement, her peace is her power, and her growth is her greatest comeback. So when he breaks your heart, don't break down. Break patterns. Break the cycle. Break the version of you that tolerated less than you deserve. Because that's the real healing, that's the real victory. That's what makes you unforgettable. His ego might have felt powerful when he walked away, but your strength will be the one thing that humbles it. One day, he'll remember the woman who stayed loyal through storms, the woman who gave everything without holding back, the woman he thought would always be there. And when he sees that you're gone, not bitter, not broken, but blooming, that's when his ego will shatter. Because no man forgets the woman who found her peace after he caused her pain. And that right there is how you break his ego. Not by hurting him, by healing yourself so deeply that your peace becomes untouchable, your glow becomes undeniable, and your energy becomes the very thing he'll never find again. When he breaks your heart, rush to prove that you're okay. Don't rush to show him that you've moved on. Don't rush to fill the silence that follows his absence. Because the most powerful response to heartbreak isn't noise, it's growth, it's peace, it's the version of you that rises silently when he thought you'd fall. Man breaks your heart. He expects to see you crumble. He expects to see your light fade. He expects to see you desperate for answers. But when you choose to rise, you choose to heal instead of hurt. When you choose to turn your pain into power, that's when his ego begins to tremble. Because men don't regret losing the woman who cries. They regret losing the woman who becomes untouchable, the woman who learns to love herself so deeply that his absence no longer echoes. The moment you stop explaining why he was wrong and start focusing on why you deserve better, something shifts inside you. Your silence starts speaking, your peace starts echoing, your strength starts shining in a way words never could. Every time you choose to stay calm instead of reacting, you reclaim a piece of your power. Every time you choose to smile instead of fight, you build a wall between his ego and your worth. When a man hurts a woman who genuinely loved him, his ego feels untouchable. He believes you'll chase him. He believes your emotions will keep the door open. But when that door stays closed, when you stop showing up where you were once taken for granted, it unsettles him. Because there is no punishment greater than realizing the woman who once begged to be understood now no longer cares to be explained to. See, when you were in love, you gave your time, your heart, your energy, your softness. You believed that if you loved him hard enough, he'd see your value. But love doesn't blind a man who doesn't want to see. It only blinds the woman who forgets that love should be mutual, not one-sided. So when he breaks your heart, don't break yourself trying to understand him. Understand yourself instead. Stand why you stayed when you saw the red flags. Understand why you accepted less than what you gave. Understand why you thought love meant proving your worth instead of recognizing it. Understanding is the start of your transformation. That's how you break his ego, not by shouting, not by revenge, not by showing another man, by becoming a woman who no longer needs validation from anyone who couldn't value her soul. There's a silence that follows heartbreak that most people fear. That silence is where you rediscover yourself. It's where you learn to walk again without someone holding your hand. It's where you learn that peace is louder than attention. The woman who walks away with dignity, who rebuilds quietly, who doesn't post every tear, becomes unforgettable. Because men forget the ones who chase, but they remember the ones who grow. They forget the ones who beg, but they remember the ones who bloom. They forget the ones who argued, but they remember the ones who went silent and leveled up. Nothing bruises the male ego more than watching a woman rise from the pain he caused and doing it gracefully. When he breaks your heart, the world will tell you to move on quickly, to find someone else to distract yourself. But don't. Sit in the silence, feel every ounce of that ache until it teaches you something about yourself. Because heartbreak isn't the end, It's the awakening. It's the breaking of illusion, the moment you stop romanticizing potential and start recognizing patterns. It's the moment you realize that love doesn't demand pain as proof. And when you finally rise from that pain, you won't rise the same. You'll move differently. You'll talk differently. You'll love differently. You'll glow with a peace that no one can fake. That glow, that new version of you, is the real revenge. He thought your silence meant weakness. Your silence was preparation. He thought your distance meant you were bitter, but your distance was healing. He thought you stopped caring. You were actually learning to care better for yourself. Because real strength isn't showing how much you can take. It's knowing when to stop taking it. It's knowing when to say, I deserve peace more than I deserve an explanation. It's knowing that not everything broken deserves to be fixed, especially when you're the only one holding the pieces. A woman who learns that truth becomes unstoppable. She doesn't argue for closure anymore. She doesn't compete for attention. She doesn't settle for potential. She learns that her value was never lost. It was only forgotten by someone who couldn't see beyond his own ego. When he breaks your heart, his ego wants to believe you'll always be waiting. Feeds on your reaction. It feeds on your messages. It feeds on your pain. But when you go quiet, when you start smiling again, when you stop explaining and start evolving, his ego begins to suffocate. Because ego thrives on control, and you just took that control back. The man who hurt you won't forget you when he sees you thriving, not pretending, truly healing. He'll remember the way you loved, but he'll never find that love again because that version of you only existed for someone who valued you. A woman loves deeply and leaves gracefully. She becomes a lesson, and no man ever forgets the woman who became his lesson. The most dangerous woman is the one who has been broken and rebuilt herself, because now she knows her power. She knows that she doesn't need anyone to complete her. She only needs someone who can meet her where she's already whole. When you rise from heartbreak, you stop seeing love as rescue and start seeing it as reflection. You stop asking, he hurt me, and start asking, why did I ignore myself for so long? You start realizing that the love you were searching for in him was always meant to come from within you. That realization breaks his ego because he thought you needed him to define your worth. But you found it without him. Heartbreak will teach you what self-love really means. It's not just saying you love yourself. It's proving it in the way you walk away from anything that drains your peace. It's showing it in the way you no longer chase understanding from those who refuse to understand. It's living it in the way you choose calm over chaos, healing over hurting, peace over proving. The woman who learns that doesn't just survive heartbreak, she transcends it. She turns pain into purpose, wounds into wisdom, endings into evolution. And that's something no man can forget. So when he breaks your heart, don't try to break his back with anger. Break his ego with peace. Don't try to make him jealous. Make him curious. Curious about how you're smiling again. Curious about how you're glowing again. Curious about how you became untouchable. See what happens when the woman he took for granted starts loving herself like she loved him. Let him watch you walk away without hate, without bitterness, without needing to prove anything. That's how you win. Because the loudest revenge isn't payback. It's peace. It's your calm confidence that says, I know what I bring and I'll never settle for less again. Every time you level up, every time you choose your peace, every time you stop explaining yourself, his ego feels it. He might act unbothered. Late at night when he's alone, he'll remember. He'll remember your kindness, your laughter, your energy, your light, and he'll realize that no one shines like the woman who healed herself. That's why your growth scares him, because it shows that you were never weak. You were just loyal. And loyalty, misunderstood, looks like weakness to the unready. But now you're not waiting for him to understand. You're walking in your own power. The woman who walks away with peace doesn't just leave a memory, she leaves a mark. She becomes the standard he compares everyone to. She becomes the one he can't replace because she found her worth in the space where he lost his. And that's how you break his ego. Not by fighting, not by shouting, by showing him that you no longer need anything from him. You have peace, you have power, you have purpose. Because the real glow up isn't in makeup or revenge, it's in energy. It's in that quiet confidence that says, I'm not who I was when you broke me. I've grown, I've healed, I've learned, and I'll never lose myself in anyone again. That's the kind of power that can't be taken, only earned through pain, through silence, through self-respect. So don't wish him pain, wish him awareness, because awareness is the weight his ego will have to carry when he realizes what he lost. And while he's replaying memories, you'll be rewriting your story stronger, wiser, and free. He breaks your heart. Don't try to fix what was meant to fall apart. Don't chase what God allowed to leave. Because sometimes the very thing that hurt you the most was the thing that was holding you back from your healing. Sometimes rejection is protection. Heartbreak is the moment heaven whispers it's time to rise. It's time to remember who you are. It's time to rebuild what you lost trying to love someone who couldn't meet you where you were. When your heart breaks, it feels like your world is collapsing. Your chest feels heavy. Your nights become long, and your thoughts replay everything you wish you could change. But pain is not your punishment. It's your purification. It's life showing you what no longer serves you. It's life teaching you how to stand alone, how to breathe again without needing someone else to fill the emptiness. And as hard as it feels, that emptiness is not the end, it's the beginning of your becoming. Because the woman who survives heartbreak becomes unshakable. She learns to find herself in silence. She learns to walk alone with her head held high. She learns to love herself louder than any apology she never got. Heartbreak will test your faith. It will test your strength. It will make you question your worth. But that's when you have to remember you were whole before he came, and you'll still be whole after he's gone. You were not created to beg for love. You were not created to chase someone's attention. You were created to be loved in peace, to be chosen without hesitation, to be valued without condition. When he breaks your heart, don't try to fix him, fix your focus. Don't try to prove that you're worth loving. Start remembering that you already are. Because love that hurts your peace isn't love, that breaks your confidence isn't love. Love that leaves you questioning your value isn't love. That's attachment. That's fear. That's settling for less than you deserve. And you deserve more. You deserve consistency, effort, respect, truth, and loyalty. And when he couldn't give you that, he lost his place in your story. Heartbreak will make you realize that sometimes you were fighting for someone who wasn't even fighting for themselves. You were trying to build a future with someone who was still broken by their past. You were trying to heal someone who wasn't ready to face their own wounds. And that's not your failure. That's their journey. Your only job now is to heal you, to rebuild you, to love you so deeply that your own soul becomes your safe place. Because when you find peace within yourself, no one can take it away. Heartbreak will make you want to close your heart, but don't let someone's inability to love you make you stop believing in love. Don't let one person's weakness make you forget your strength. Because the love you give is not wasted. It's seed, it's energy, it's growth. And even if he didn't appreciate it, life will return it to you in ways more beautiful than you can imagine. One day you'll look back and realize that the heartbreak that broke you was actually the moment that built you, the moment you learned what real love feels like. And it starts with self-love. It starts with you saying, I'm done begging for attention. I'm done explaining my worth. I'm done waiting for someone to choose me, because I choose me. I choose peace. I choose healing. I choose growth. When you make that decision, you shift your energy. You stop vibrating from a place of lack and start vibrating from a place of power. You stop saying, I hope he sees my worth, and start saying, I know my worth. And the world responds to that kind of confidence. Heartbreak becomes your transformation, your evolution, your awakening, because nothing changes you like pain does. It forces you to see truth clearly. It strips away the illusions. It makes you stop romanticizing potential and start respecting patterns. It makes you realize that love is not supposed to hurt this much. It's not supposed to feel like walking on eggshells. It's not supposed to make you doubt yourself every day. Love is supposed to make you feel safe, seen, and valued. When he breaks your heart, use that pain to build yourself, to work on your dreams, to focus on your goals, to pour all the energy you were giving to him into creating a life that makes you proud. Because that's how you rise, that's how you glow. That's how you make peace your revenge, not by trying to make him regret leaving, but by becoming so focused on your healing that you don't even notice when he tries to come back. Because the version of you that cried for him no longer exists. She evolved, she healed, she outgrew the woman who needed his validation. And that's the most powerful thing you can do, to outgrow the pain that tried to destroy you. When he breaks your heart, stop seeing it as loss, see it as redirection. Maybe life removed him because he couldn't go where you're going. Maybe he was sent to teach you, not to stay with you. Maybe the heartbreak wasn't happening to you, but for you to wake you up, to show you that you were giving your power away, to show you that love without boundaries isn't love, it's self-abandonment, and you're done abandoning yourself. You're done trying to fix people who keep breaking you. You're done confusing pain with passion. You're done calling chaos love. Now you know the difference, and that's growth. Heartbreak refines your standards. It sharpens your intuition, teaches you how to recognize real love when it arrives. Because once you've been through fake love, you'll never settle for less again. Heartbreak teaches you that closure is not something he can give you. It's something you create for yourself by choosing to move forward even without the answers, by choosing to forgive, not because he deserves it, but because you deserve peace. Forgiveness is not saying it's okay. It's saying, I'm done carrying this pain. I'm done replaying the story. I'm done giving energy to what broke me. I'm free. When you reach that point, that's when your healing begins to blossom. That's when your heart starts beating differently. That's when your smile becomes real again. Heartbreak will take you to your knees, but it will also teach you how to rise stronger than ever. It will break your illusions, but build your truth. It will show you that love is not something you beg for. It's something you attract when you know your worth, when you love yourself, when you honor your peace. Day you stop chasing him is the day he starts remembering you, because the energy shifts. When you were chasing, he was comfortable. When you walked away, he felt the void, he felt the silence, he felt the loss of your energy, and that's when he starts realizing what he lost. But by then, you've already leveled up. You've already healed. You've already learned to find happiness within yourself, and that's the most powerful position you can be in. When you heal, you take your power back. When you glow from peace instead of pain, you become magnetic, because healing looks good on you, confidence looks good on you, peace looks good on you. And when you walk in that energy, one can forget you, not even the one who broke your heart, but by then It won't matter because you won't need his memory. You'll have your freedom. Heartbreak is not your end. It's your evolution. It's the fire that burns away everything that's not meant for you. It's the test that turns you into the woman you were always meant to be. It's the proof that no matter who leaves, you'll never lose yourself again, because now, real strength isn't how hard you can fight for love. It's how gracefully you can let go when it stops fighting for you. It's how deeply you can love yourself when someone else couldn't. It's how you rise after being broken. And that's what makes you unstoppable, unshakable, and unforgettable.